Sean Shorty Rock Santella, fighting at 125, fighting out of Miller Brothers MMA, and Ricardo Almeida BJJ. I don't know if it's my record, if it's my team, whatever it is, you know, people just don't want to come in and make weight. Everybody's looking to get that extra advantage. I don't know what it is. It's starting to get out of control. The most disrespectful thing a fighter could do is definitely call somebody out and then not make weight when they show up. It's just being completely unprofessional. You know, the first part of your job is signing a contract, making that contracted weight, and the second is putting on a great show for the fans. And making weight, man, it's part of your job. I don't know how people don't make weight. It's crazy. Just teammates, you know, in my own weight class. Other than that, you know, I'll fight anybody at 125 in the world. Yeah, I actually, I think I have. I think I've gotten it before, and I think that there's some kind of mistrust led where, you know, I got the call and I was signed up for a different organization, and I wasn't able to get out of a contract even though I had a UFC clause. It didn't really make sense to me. But yeah, I definitely feel like I belong there. You know, with my record, I don't think there's anybody outside of UFC that has my record with my finishing rate that really isn't in the UFC, and I think that's another big reason on why people don't want to fight me. Is because everybody thinks, a lot of the promoters, well, nobody wants to fight you because of your record. They think you should be in the UFC. But I'm not, you know? So you would think that people would want to use me to get into the UFC. And nobody wants to take a hard fight this day and age. Even Rizzo, they want me to fight Rizzo. They always want me to fight him at Ring of Combat where there's no elbows allowed on the ground. So you're gonna get a great guy that has great pressure on top, that's a great wrestler, that you're gonna take away a #1 attack besides submissions with somebody being on top of you. You know, I mean, I'll fight him outside of Ring of Combat. I just wanna make it, you know, fair. I don't believe in like those rules. I know, you know, Neglia runs you know, one of the top promotions in the country as a region, you know, but to not have elbows, it eliminates a big aspect, especially against a strong wrestler off your back that, you know, is a brown belt in jiu-jitsu. You're gonna even out that game and you know, you take away your setups. You know, if you can't really strike off your back or at least have significant strikes, it doesn't really make sense. So once again, it's just like fighting somebody that doesn't make weight. Why am I gonna go in there at a disadvantage? You know, I know the kid's gonna come in and take me down, but if I can't strike off my back, he's got an advantage, you know? So Rizzo, if you wanna fight me outside of the Ring of Combat, let's do it, man. I feel like I'm 1 or 2 wins away from still getting back in, you know? I mean, I had a great streak. I beat pretty much everybody out there that I had to beat. I was undefeated for 2 years. I don't know why I really didn't get the call then. I don't know if it was poor management or, you know, I know my old manager was pushing, but then when the time came, when the call came, nothing came out of it, you know? And then, you know, I took a tough decision loss to a tough opponent in Nick Honstein, who came in very game. You know, me coming off a year layoff pretty much. You know, my hat's off to him. But, you know, that's only one fight, you know, and then nobody else wanted to fight. You know, it's kind of crazy that, you know, my dream is to get in the UFC, but I'm limited because I don't control my destiny anymore. It's other people. You know, it's relying on people to come in and make weight when it's part of the sport. I don't understand. It's just, you know, it's crazy. My last 9 out of 10 fights, people haven't made weight. You know, I feel embarrassed for these guys, you know, like call yourself a professional. Man, find another sport. Honestly, I don't know why I didn't get the rematch after the Honstein fight. I asked for it, and they wouldn't give it to me. You know, I felt I deserved it. It was a great fight. I almost finished it in the last round, the 24th minute of the fight. I'm down, you know, like 3 rounds. I almost pull an armbar out of my ass. You know, the crowd's going crazy. You know, I was in it the whole time. I had one bad round where I got caught in a bad position that, you know, I got beat up, and I still came back from that. And you would think, you know, having their belt, fighting everybody that they put in front of me, that I would get an immediate rematch. You know, I've seen people get less in that organization, you know? And, you know, I just thought I helped build it, you know? And it was kind of, it kind of left a sour taste in my mouth. And then even trying to fight for him again, you know, I didn't get any feedback. I wanted to fight for him, you know? I thought it was my home, but then, you know, things change, you lose, and it's like, you know, now I'm all the way down at the bottom, you know? George St. Pierre loses his title, he ain't going all the way down to the bottom, I can tell you that. You know, why should I? And I'm not sitting here making millions of dollars. I ask for what I deserve, you know? And if you don't appreciate me and think I deserve that, then all right, then I'll walk, you know? Oh, I'd love to fight him again. I think that match would be great. I think it's a completely different fight, you know? He's got good jiu-jitsu, he's a strong wrestler, you know, he's a big kid. You know, I came off an 8-month injury, you know, and I was still holding my own 5 rounds. You know, I was a little flat-footed, you know, I had some ring rust, but now I have a better team, better training partners. You know, that fight is completely different this time around. I think I finish him. I think I sub him. You know, I had him in some tight stuff, and you know, he's you know, pretty flexible and he likes playing my game. But I just think it's another, you know, different time around this time if I had that rematch. My home at Miller Brothers MMA, where I'm teaching full-time jiu-jitsu, training with Jimmy and Danny and those guys, Andy Main, Claudio Ledesma, Melvis, a lot of these guys pushing me. And, you know, I'm always learning that you know, there's never an ego there. Everybody's pushing everybody. And then, you know, my second home going down to Ricardo's and training with Frankie and Marlon, and even down at Nick Catone's with Cody and Ricky and all these guys. I mean, it's pushing me at different levels, you know? It's never an easy round, you know, whether you're going with Caitlin, Claudio, you know, people on the regional, people in the UFC, people at World Series. Like, you're coming in there and you're leaving a better fighter after every practice. You got great coaches surrounding you, and they won't let you leave there, you know, anything less of a fighter than you were when you first walked in. You're constantly being pushed, and it's just a great environment to be around. You know, it's you know, it's hard to explain unless you experience it. I think because of my work ethic, you know, I treat my job of fighting very, very seriously. I put in my 6 hours a day. You know, I concentrate on my diet. I try to do everything right. I'm trying to push myself. A lot of these guys, they just kind of take it as, I'm gonna take a class here or there. I'm gonna put in, you know, a few hours here and there. No, to me, I take it serious. It's a job. I come in, I make weight, I bust my ass, I train all aspects of the sport, and I try to surround myself with the best guys in the world, you know? And if I get into the UFC, it's, you know, nobody has my jiu-jitsu skills in the UFC, and I'm gonna push it. I'm gonna push the pace. I'm always aggressive. I'm gonna try to finish the fight no matter where it is. I never am in a boring fight. I'm always gonna pressure, and I'm always gonna try to finish, you know? And the one thing I love about the UFC is the fact that people don't back out of fights, you know? A lot of them make weight. 90% of the time they make weight unless it's a short notice fight and they're filling in for somebody, you know? But, you know, they're always gonna find you a replacement, you know? They're always gonna keep an eye on fighters, making sure everything's going. I mean, you're there for a reason. You're the best of the best. And I just want consistency with fighting, you know? I mean, it's been a year, I fought 1 time. It's crazy, you know? I got 20 fights. You know, I think I put in my time. I think I deserve a chance against the tough guys. And, you know, I beat some of the guys in the UFC. It's crazy. I want to thank all my fans and supporters, my teammates, my sponsors for, you know, kind of putting up with me through this rough time. Keep coming and support me, where 90% of the time I'm not even fighting because something happens that's out of my hands, you know, and I appreciate you guys understanding it's part of the game and part of the sport, and unfortunately it just happens to me more than probably any other fighter that is in the sport. So I thank you for the continued support. I thank my teammates for constantly pushing me and making me a better fighter and a better person day by day. And, you know, I owe a lot of that to you guys. Thank you.